today I'm here with class 11 syllabus. We'll continue further, and I'm doing with you the second poem of the book Hornbill. The poem is The Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes. Laburnum tree is a tree with yellow and golden flowers. Beautiful tree to look at, but it is very poisonous. It contains some toxins which are poisonous. So here the poet Ted Hughes has taken the tree as a symbolic of hardships in life. We all go through hardships. I have often told you, life is full of ups and downs. There is nothing smooth going in anyone's life. We have to go through a lot of challenges, hardships, obstacles, and we have to do it strongly, because that is a fact and it makes you stronger. So here this tree is symbolic of hardships in life, and when the poet gets to see the tree, I told you it has got yellow flowers, but right now when the poet gets to see the tree, even the leaves are getting yellow, and that happens when? In the autumn season. Alright, so let us go through the poem quickly. I have written half poem right now. I thought I should explain each and every line. Moreover, we have got poetic devices which I have to discuss, and then I'll quickly write the other part and we'll do the second part also. Alright, so we'll start with the poem. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow, September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So this yellow color, when the leaves are getting yellow, we all know that it must be the autumn season, and it has also mentioned the month September. Alright, so when the poet gets to see the tree is absolutely still, motionless. There is no movement in the tree. It is giving a death-like image. See, he says, the laburnum top is silent, absolutely silent, quite still. This symbolizes silence and death. Everything is motionless. It is a yellow color tree with golden flowers. And then he says that in the afternoon, already it is the afternoon time, yellow September sunlight, the month of September is going on, and it is all yellow. The sunlight at that time is very yellow, very scorching. A few leaves yellowing, and the leaves of the plants, of the flowers, of the trees, they get dry and they get yellow in color. And then when the wind blows, they all fall down. All its seeds fallen, and you know, when in the autumn season, all the seeds also they fall down, and then when there is a breeze, when the wind blows, then these leaves also they dry. They are already getting yellow. They all dry up and they fall down, and the seeds they scatter here and there. All right. So here the tree is undergoing lot of hardships. Its leaves are getting yellow. Its seeds have fallen down, and it is a death-like atmosphere. Absolute silence, no motion at all. Alright, now we'll quickly go through if there is any poetic device. See, S and S. I told you the poetic devices are used by the poets, and when he uses the words with same consonants, starting with the same consonants, they are alliteration. So this is an alliteration. Alright, and this is symbolic of death. Right? And yellow, I told you, this yellow, we come to know that it is a autumn season going on. Alright, we'll go further. till the goldfinch. What is a goldfinch? Goldfinch is a bird. Golden color bird. It is a golden color bird, but its face has got some black stripes, some black marks on it. Alright. So, till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. So, when the poet saw, the tree was absolute silence, and then suddenly a goldfinch, a golden color bird, small golden color bird, comes and sits at the edge of a branch. And as soon as it comes suddenly. See, it says a suddenness, it comes suddenly, a startlement, and then as it lands, there is everything starts moving, everything gets excited at a branch end. Alright, and it comes with twitching chirrup. It comes, flying, and it comes and sits at one corner, and there is a chirrup sound. Chirrup is a high-pitched sound of a bird. So it comes and sits at the corner and starts chirruping. It must be such a beautiful scene, a yellow tree, and it's absolutely silent. And when the goldfinch comes and sits, there is activity there. It comes and sits with a chirrup, and there is startlement in the tree. Let us see then what happens. Then, sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt. So this bird is sleek. Its body is sleek like a lizard. Lizard is it's got a sleek body, and its movement is very fast. The lizard, have you ever seen? It moves. Its movement is very precautious. It takes care that no one hits it or catches it, or it gets caught. It's afraid. So the lizard is very alert and very fast. What do you mean by abrupt? Abrupt is a rapid movement, a fast movement. So just like the movement of this goldfinch has been compared to the movement and alertness of the lizard. Alright? And the poet has used the word as, and whenever comparison is made by using the words like and as, it is a simile. So this is a poetic device, simile. Alright? And here, as we can see, this is S and S over here, so this is alliteration. A and A, this is alliteration. Alright, so let us quickly read these lines again. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, it comes, up till now it is silent, then it comes and sits at the branch end, and there is a suddenness, a startlement. Suddenly everything gets excited, comes into motion. Then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness, and a machine starts up. And then very quick, just like a lizard has got a precautionary movement it takes, and it moves inside the thickness of the tree, in between the yellow leaves and the yellow flowers. Alright? And a machine starts up, and suddenly when it goes in, all the flowers and all the leaves, they start moving. We feel as if a machine has been set on, and there is motion in the whole tree. So the movement, the quick movement of the bird and the movement of the tree, when it enters the thickness of the tree, it is compared to a machine. So here, and it is not using as or like, but there is a comparison. So this is a metaphor. Alright, this is a simile, and when it is being compared to a machine without using the words as or like, then it is a metaphor. So machine is a metaphor. So when the bird enters, everything comes into life, the whole tree starts moving, and we feel that a machine has been started and the whole tree is moving. Alright? Of chitterings and a tremor of wings and the trillings. And inside, when the bird goes, she meets whom? She has come to meet her family. Her birdlings are there. Small birds in her nest. And so clever this bird is, She is golden in color, and obvious. Her birdlings must also be yellow and golden. So she has purposely made her nest in this tree so that no one else get to notice her nest. No animal, no other bird is able to notice, and her children her birdlings are safe there. Alright, because in yellow you will not be able to see the yellow children, right? So when the lizard, when the mother enters, she is a parent, and it seems that she has put on a machine, and the children who were waiting for her and waiting for the parent and for the food, they get excited and there is chitterings. All the birdlings, they start moving and they start making a noise, and a tremor of wings, their wings starts vibrating with happiness, and trillings, and they, they move in excited way and they keep chirruping. They make their sounds of happiness. The whole tree trembles and trills. The whole tree gets excited and it starts vibrating and moving in excitement, as if a machine has set the tree on. Up till, before the goldfinch had entered, the tree was absolute silence. It was just death-like. But now, when the goldfinch entered the tree, it seems that it has come to life. The whole tree is trembling and trilling. Alright, now here T and T, again this is an alliteration. Here also tremor T and trillings. Here trembles and thrills. So T, 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 T all are alliteration, right? And here the whole tree trembles and thrills. Usually human beings, we persons, we tremble. So here the poet has used personification. Alright, so this is a personification, and machine is a metaphor, as sleek as a lizard is a simile. Alright, so here, see, the tree is giving shelter to the goldfinch nest and the birdlings inside. And the tree, which was absolutely silent, it was just motionless, but when the bird entered, it brought the tree to life. Everything seemed happy and full of excitement. The whole tree was moving, all the flowers, all the leaves started moving, as if a machine had been set up. So this is to show that there is a repaying relationship between the tree and the goldfinch. The tree is giving shelter to the goldfinch, and the goldfinch comes and gives happiness to the tree, gives activity, brings it to life. Such a beautiful, composition by Ted Hughes. So this was the first half, and now we'll do the second half. Okay? Alright, moving further, let us see. It is the engine of her family. She stokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end. So what, this goldfinch that had entered and had set up the tree like a machine, and her children were so happy to see the mother. They were waiting for her and they were waiting for food. And so now, just, I had told you that she had, set the tree up like a machine. And so now again, see, Ted uses another metaphor for her. It is the engine. It, just like the engine pulls the train, in the same way, the parent, the goldfinch, moves her whole family. She takes a responsibility of the full family. So she has come here to feed her children. So she says, Ted says, it is the engine of her family. So here engine has been, used like a metaphor. She stokes it full. So she feeds her children very nicely. There is a lot of movement. The children are very excited. The small birdlings were waiting for the mother for food, and they are very excited. There is, such a lot of trillings in the tree, and then flirts out to a branch end. Then she moves to the other end and sits at the corner of a branch end. Alright, here F and F is alliteration. She comes to sit at the corner of the branch end. She looks here and there whether everything is safe and no one has noticed her, and so she can safely leave her children and fly. Alright, so she comes out and flirts. Flirt has been used to show that she comes out and looks here and there if anybody has noticed her or not. Alright, showing her barred face identity mask. Barred is what? I told you. The whole bird is golden in color. It's goldfinch. It is golden in color. And the face has got black stripes. It seems like a bar. So here, barred face, here, this is a metaphor also. And this whole thing is also a transferred epithet. When we use describing words for something. So here for the face and for the mask, this has been used, barred and identity. This whole thing is a transferred epithet. This is also a poetic device, alright? And barred face, because it is like a bar. You know, the prison has got bars, some lines, so the face is also barred. The whole bird is golden in color, its face has got bars. This is a metaphor and transferred epithet too. Alright, so she has got a bad face and she sits at the corner and she looks out whether everything is safe or not, and she can leave her children and fly away or not. Then with eerie, delicate whistle, chirrup, whisperings, see the sound words, you know, he has used movement words, you know, twitching, tremor, thrilling, all these are movement words, and the sound words are chirrup, whisperings, chirrup, all these are the sound words. So beautifully he has used. Then with eerie, what is eerie? Eerie is strange, different, you know, strange, unique type. So then with eerie, delicate, whistle, chirrup, whisperings, she makes a sound. She chirrups as if she is whispering, as if she is telling her family, okay, be safe, I'm going. Alright, so she chirrups. She launches away, and again she launches away. She flies high in the sky towards the infinite. What is infinite? Sky. And the laburnum subsides to empty. The laburnum tree that had come into action, that had come into motion after the goldfinch had entered, and when she leaves, the tree becomes still and motionless again. It becomes empty again. It is not empty, it has got flowers in it. The birdlings are still there, but everything becomes motionless. Everything becomes still. So this shows that even the tree waits for the bird to come, to bring it into action, to bring life into the tree. And the tree shelters the birdlings, the nest of the birds. Such a beautiful relationship between the goldfinch and the tree the poet has brought out. It is a poisonous tree, but still it shelters the nest of the goldfinch. Alright, and here we can see this W and W. This is alliteration, and you can even, you know, go through the whole poem and you can yourself see if, suppose I have missed out, I think marked all the poetic devices, but even if I have left out the alliteration in any line, then you are wise enough to do so. Alright, and this whole poem has got no rhyme scheme. So, you know, it's just all lines are different and there's no particular stanzas and all. So, there is no rhyme scheme in this. But if suppose rhyming words are asked, then you can find the rhyming words if there are any. Alright, go through the poem, and if you have any problem, please put it in the comment section. You can also mail the problems to me. Do take good care of yourself. Study well. You are at home. Go through the poem, read each and every line, watch my video, watch my other videos also, and yes, if you have still not subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends, families, everybody to subscribe too. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.